This is the Stephen A. Smith Show podcast.
I'm Stephen A. Welcome to hour number 2 of the Stephen A. Smith Show, here with you right here on ESPN Radio. 250 plus markets across the United States of America, plus on Sirius XM, ESPN Radio channel, channel 80. Number to call up as always is 888-729-3776. That's 888-SAY-ESPN. Touching on a little football before I get back to my basketball talk. Let me express this. You need Gronkowski for this Super Bowl if you're the New England Patriots, more so than you needed him last year against Atlanta. Because last year, like Adam Schefter pointed out, you had Julian Edelman. If Gronkowski ain't ready to go, you'll be without him and Edelman for this Super Bowl. I'm of the mindset that even though the New England Patriots should be favored, I'm of the mindset that I cannot, under any circumstances, I cannot sit up there and definitively say that the Patriots should be the favorites without both Edelman and Gronkowski against this Eagles team. They got some Rough Riders on there. They're fast. They can hit. They want it bad. And because of the absence of Carson Wentz, they're sort of playing with house money because they have absolutely, positively nothing to prove. Absolutely, positively nothing to prove. They're playing with house money. They're under no pressure. All the pressure's on New England. Now, that doesn't matter because New England, as far as they're concerned, if they ain't winning, they losing. Everything's about winning. Everything's about that championship. And if they don't have that going on, they don't want to hear anything. That's what you have going on with the New England Patriots. That's what cannot be ignored. That's the truth. But you're going to need Gronkowski for this game against the Eagles. I firmly believe you're going to need Gronkowski. 888-SAY-ESPN. That's 888-729-3776. Getting back to what I began with hour number 1, I think that, Gilbert should ask LeBron James to waive his no-trade clause. I don't think LeBron would ever do it, but it gives Gilbert some cover because he don't have to deal with all the fallout from LeBron James leaving. Not that he really did last time because he looked completely innocent and looked like a total victim, but the franchise fell apart for 4 years. That's not going to be the case now. But I will tell you this. The person who they really, really need to move is Kevin Love. Kevin Love is 6'10". He can shoot. He can rebound. He's a really good guy, and he's white. In the league, 74.4% black. When you take into account international players of color, it's more than 80%. If you can have a white dude that can ball, like Kevin Love can ball, you're that much more marketable. That's why Phoenix wanted him. New York was thinking about him. New Orleans might think about him. And oh, by the way, I say all of that, telling you this. This kid, marketing for Chicago, this rookie, ladies and gentlemen, he can ball. This brother can play. He can flat out play. He's just a rookie. And I can't say enough about, obviously marketing is white, but Kyle Kuzma, who is not, he's special. This dude is the future star. I think not only is Kyle Kuzma the better rookie, I think Kyle Kuzma is going to end up being better than Brandon Ingram. Just watch him. Watch the swag that comes with the game, plus the better perimeter shot. Plus he's bigger. Almost just as tall, but bigger. More girth. You heard what I'm saying? No, you hear what I'm saying, Jonathan? This dude is, Kyle Kuzma is going to be better than Brandon Ingram. It looks like that. The Magic Johnson and Rob Pelinka, they have something special. Kyle Kuzma can ball. He can ball. I'm telling you, I love this kid. Did you see the jump shots he was hitting last night? It didn't matter who was on him. Why, it wasn't like he had his eyes closed, eyes wide open, nice elevation, follow through, skills, putting a ball on the court, popping off screens. I don't want to hear anything about Lonzo Ball no more. I don't want to hear anything about Lonzo Ball in a Laker uniform. I'm not interested. I'm not saying that I don't want to see him come back. I'm not saying that I'm rooting against him. I want him to succeed and I want him to produce. But I don't want to hear all of this talk like he's the guy to watch. It's Kyle Kuzma. It's Kyle Kuzma. He's something special, y'all. I'm trying to tell you what I'm seeing. He's something special. But getting back to LeBron, I said this earlier too. At the beginning of the year, if he wasn't going to stay in Cleveland, it's one of them situations where here's the bottom line. If he's going to leave Cleveland, I was here in Houston watching the game last night. I wouldn't mind seeing LeBron in San Antonio with a healthy Kawhi Leonard, with Greg Popovich as his coach. Let me tell you something right now. I wouldn't put it beyond LeBron, because at this stage and point in his career, LeBron James is all about his legacy, and he wants to protect it. And who better to protect his legacy, y'all, than Greg Popovich? Could you imagine going up to Greg Popovich and trying to complain about LeBron James? Well, LeBron James is struggling. Well, he's only shooting about 48% from the field. Oh, he's only averaging about 25 points. Oh, Greg Popovich, things just don't seem aligned right now. Could you imagine saying that to Greg Popovich? Do you know what Greg Popovich might do to you? Greg Popovich with LeBron James as his star, with Kawhi Leonard. That would be something special to behold. Make no mistake about it. Make no mistake about it. 888-SAY-8-ESPN. That's 888-729-3776. Once again, congratulations to LeBron James and the 30,000 points. Quickest to 30,000 points in his career. His self-congratulatory Instagram note and all of that stuff notwithstanding, he deserves all the praise he receives. He's one of the greatest ever, ladies and gentlemen. It's undeniable. Aaron, San Diego, you're live with Stephen A. What's up?
Stephen A., how you doing?
I'm all right. Go ahead.
I just want to congratulate LeBron on that 30,000. But, again, you're hearing the barbershop talk, and it's kind of on the heels of when, Scottie Pippen was on your show about a month ago. But that LeBron, just because he leads statistic-wise against Jordan, that he's going to go down as the greatest ever. I mean, really, you got to compare apples to apples. I mean, Jordan came out after his junior year. He broke his foot his second year in the league, and then he took a year and a half off. I mean, that's 5 years of stats that Jordan missed out on.
So what's your point?
Well, the point is another point is LeBron, he didn't play in that 80s and 90s. He'll never be able to get that. So, I mean, if you just did the statistics, analytics.
Listen, don't talk to me about statistics and analytics on my show. I'm not trying to hear that right now. I think that's what's keeping black folks out of jobs, to be honest with you. In the NBA, don't get me started with that because I'll just get annoyed. No need for that. What I will say to you is this. The biggest argument that I love that you presented was that Jordan played at a different time that was far more physical. LeBron James came up in an era where you could get called for a technical for passing gas. That's how soft the NFL has become, which is why the officiating has gotten even worse. The officials, considering all the stuff that they're allowed to call, it's a travesty that the officials have gotten as sensitive as they have gotten. Kevin Durant, the Draymond Greens of the world, and others are absolutely right. Things have gotten worse with these officials. People are not paying to come see them. The NBA better do something about this. But go ahead.
But let me show something. What I'm saying is this. This is my point. Just because at the end of his career, everyone knew after the first year LeBron was in the league that if he stayed healthy and he played 20 years, he will lead statistic-wise points, maybe assists, and steals. It doesn't mean he's the greatest of all time. See, this is what happened with Scottie Pippen. I mean, can you imagine Scottie Pippen in '96 talking about LeBron is better than MJ? I mean, it's a travesty. And the other thing is, when LeBron jumped ship, KD was the worst punk move. I agree with you on that. But LeBron was a second. I mean, he joined Bosh and Wade in his prime.
Well,
he was getting ready to get over that hump against the Celtics.
No, I'm not going with that. And the reason why is because, first of all, he left Cleveland because it was a cesspool. The things that they were doing behind his back as an organization and some of his teammates and all of that stuff, it was unforgivable. He was absolutely right to leave. When he joined Miami, he had never played with Wade. He had never played with Chris Bosh, even though they could both play and what have you, and we knew that. The fact of the matter is that he had never played with them, and Pat Riley and Eric Spoelstra still had to build something in order for them to get to the finals and to win 2 championships back to back. In the case of Kevin Durant going to Golden State, they were 73-9, and they all had played together before Kevin Durant arrived. 2 different worlds. But I got to go. I appreciate the call. 888-SAY-ESPN. It's 888-729-3776. More to Stephen A. Smith Show on ESPN Radio in a minute.
You're listening to the Stephen A. Smith Show podcast.
Welcome back to the Stephen A. Smith Show right here on ESPN Radio. 888-SAY-ESPN. It's 888-729-3776. Let's go back to the phones. Let's go to Mike in Denver. You're live with Stephen A. Talk to me.
How you doing, man?
Talk to me, bro. I'm good. How you doing?
I'm doing fine. I was just want to chime in on LeBron. First, I want to congratulations on the fate that he just crossed. But, man, do you think at this point they can do anything to try to win the championship this year?
No. Cleveland's done. I don't think other than a major trade, like they end up landing themselves somebody like an Anthony Davis, I can't see it. I can't see it.
That's the same thing I was thinking on the line. So, at this point in time, you think LeBron, I've seen somebody saying he should waive his no trade contract.
No, I'm saying you got a lot of people that's going to say that because their attitude is you can get LeBron someplace else. Here's the problem. If LeBron gets traded, in order to get him from Cleveland, you're going to have to pay Dan Gilbert and the Cavaliers a king's ransom to get him. Okay. Secondly, he gets to dictate where he wants to go because of the no trade clause. All right. And thirdly, and more importantly, again, he don't want to leave on anybody else's terms other than his own. Waiving his no trade clause puts it to some degree on Dan Gilbert's terms, and LeBron don't look like he's interested in doing Dan Gilbert any favors.
Exactly. Exactly. He ain't gonna do that no kind of way because he like to be in control of everything he do.
That's right. Yeah. You almost can't knock him for it.
Exactly. All right, then, man.
Right,
well, just wanted to chime in on that.
All right, man. You take it easy, bro. I'll talk to you soon. Let's go to Dre in St. Louis. You're live with Stephen A. What's up?
Hey, Stephen. How you doing?
I'm all right. Go ahead. Talk to me.
First of all, I just want to say thank you for allowing me to call into your nationwide show to give my humble opinion.
No problem.
You had mentioned that you believe that CP3 should be in the Hall of Fame. And in your argument, you said that, you brought up Reggie Miller and my main man, Patrick Ewing.
No, it wasn't that I was making the argument for CP3. It was some caller demanding that he had never won a championship. And I was making the point that that's not the only criteria. It's not about winning a championship all the time. It's about somebody's individual abilities. But go ahead.
I definitely agree with that. But what I see is that all of those people had deep playoff runs. In order for CP3 to be in the Hall of Fame, he's got to lead a team at least to the conference finals once or twice in his career. Without that, he's just a good player, and I don't think we should reward.
Let me ask you a question. Do you know that Tracy McGrady's in the Hall of Fame?
Yes, I do.
Okay. The Pete Maraviches of the world and, folks like that, you understand that, right?
Yes, sir.
I mean, these things happen. What I'm saying to you is that there's greatness that comes with it. And my only point in stating that is recognizing this fact that can't be avoided. When you look at the individual ability of CP3, it is simply undeniable that his talents will go down as one of the greatest we've seen from a point guard, a floor general in history. He's not a scoring machine like Allen Iverson, who never won a championship, but I watched carry the Philadelphia 76ers on his back for a decade. He's not that, okay? But in terms of floor generalship and what he brings to the table as a passer, as the general of an offense, as well as a scorer when you need to be, I don't think there's any denying that Chris Paul is one of the greatest small guards in the history of basketball.
I would definitely agree. Let me ask you this. Do you feel like Robert Horry should be in the Hall of Fame?
No, and he's got 7 rings. And why? Because he was a big shot artist. But Robert Horry wasn't somebody that went out there on a night in, night out basis and could do that over the course of 82 games, 48 minutes a night, plus the postseason and beyond. Robert Horry was a great winner. No doubt about that. You needed a big shot. He never panicked and he got it done for you. But that's entirely different than somebody that could really, really play. He could put the ball in the hole when it counted. But in terms of really, really play the game, dribbling, passing, shooting, whatever the case may be, he was a clutch shooter. He wasn't the shooter that Reggie Miller was. He wasn't the shooter that Ray Allen was or anything like that. We got to take that into consideration as well. Not to mention the fact that for most of Robert Horry's career, do you understand that he's a career 7-point per game scorer? 7 points. Do you understand? Do you understand that from the year 1996 to the year 2008, Robert Horry never averaged double digits? And I'm not disrespecting him because I'd want him on my team to close the deal and to hit a big shot because he would do it for me. I watched what he did with the Lakers against the Sacramento Kings when the Lakers won the title, when they beat Sacramento in 7 games and they ultimately won the title over the Nets that year. But what I am saying to you is I just pointed out that from 1996 to 2008, Robert Horry never even averaged in double digits.
I was not aware of that.
Well, you know now. I appreciate the call. 888-729-3776. 888-SAY-ESPN. Let's go to Kevin in Massachusetts. You're live with Stephen A. Go ahead.
Stephen A., man. You disrespecting, man. LeBron, B.
My man, you ain't talking to me on the street like we hanging out in the corner. You got hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people listening to you right now. You disrespect B. LeBron, B. That is not an explanation. We need you to talk. Speak up, Kev.
All right. You got it. Durant, man. I don't think you watched been watching basketball the last 10 years. There's no way he's coming for LeBron.
There's no way he's coming for LeBron?
Nah, there's no way.
There's no way the number 2 or number 3 player in the world who's the reigning MVP of the NBA Finals, who religiously averages over 30 against LeBron, who just finished averaging 35 and 8 in winning an NBA Finals MVP award. There's no way that guy who's 6'11" with a 7'6" wingspan, who religiously shoots over 50%, who shoots near 40% from 3-point range, who's a career 88% shooter from the free throw line. There's no way that dude is coming for LeBron.
The numbers sound great, but he had to go join the best.
And what did LeBron and even though it wasn't the same, what did LeBron have to do before he won titles?
He went and formed it. You know that team's not doing nothing without LeBron. Every team LeBron leaves.
Hold on. That's a very valid point. I won't dismiss your point in terms of what he had to help form in Miami, whereas Kevin Durant went to a relatively finished product because they have been fresh off a 73-9 season. I'll give you that. But let me ask you this question. Is there anything about Kevin Durant's greatness as an individual talent that wasn't there before he arrived in Golden State?
Yes.
What?
His ability and his heart to win.
What you talking about his ability? What you talking about his ability? No. Do you realize that when Kevin Durant lost in the NBA Finals to LeBron and the Miami Heat, when D Wade and LeBron and them smoked them in 5 games, do you realize that Kevin Durant averaged over 30 on better than 53% shooting in that series?
That's all good. Kobe's numbers was good too.
But what I'm saying to you is you talking about, when I'm talking about him coming, I'm saying to you that individually as a player, Kevin Durant is a superstar, bro. I'm not saying he's better than LeBron, but you do understand that LeBron can't shoot like this, brother. It's 2 completely different games. LeBron is a man amongst boys. He's 6'9", 260. He's a locomotive. He can take you in the post and score at will. We get all of that. He can't shoot like Durant. He ain't as reliable for the free throw line as Durant. You can sit up there and lament the fact of what of Durant isn't, but there are things that LeBron is not compared to Durant. It's 2 different games. But I got news for you. Kevin Durant is real, bro. This is real. It's undeniable, Kevin.
He's the truth, but he's not.
Kevin, you can't say he's the truth and say, but he's not LeBron. I said he's coming. I didn't say he's arrived, but he is coming. You're averaging 27 a game for your career. You averaged 35 in the finals. You're the reigning NBA Finals MVP. All right? You're coming, Kevin. That's the definition and the epitome of coming. You can't ignore that. No matter how hard you try. Have a nice day. 888-SAY-ESPN. That's 888-729-3776. We'll get more into this talk. Plus, I got something to say about Barry Bonds and Roger Clemens. Today we're going to find out if they're going to the Hall of Fame. Chances are they won't. I'm going to tell you who I believe should go and who shouldn't go in a minute. You're listening live to Stephen A. on ESPN Radio.
Guess what?
You're in the middle of the Stephen A. Smith Show podcast.
Damn it, I mean it!
2017. Baseball Writers Association of America voting results announced today at 6 o'clock. Chipper Jones, one of the all-time great third basemen in Major League Baseball history, he's expected to get in. He's on the ballot for the first time. I had the pleasure of interviewing him a few months ago. He should get in. Jim Thome, who smacked over 612 home runs in his career to be exact, ranks 8th all-time. Had 13 walk-off home runs. That's the most all-time, by the way. He's on the ballot for the first time. He's going into the Hall of Fame. He's expected to. Vladimir Guerrero, this is his second year on the ballot. He's one of only 9 players with career batting average of .315 and a slugging percentage of .550. Of the other 7 are in the Hall. I think Vladimir Guerrero should be in. Trevor Hoffman, second only to Mariano Rivera on the all-time saves list and 6th all-time in save percentage. He should get in. This is his third year on the ballot. And Edgar Martinez. I mean, what is baseball, right? So, could somebody explain to me, what's the purpose of this? Do y'all know this is Edgar Martinez's 9th year on the ballot? 9th year. I mean, damn, why bother? If it takes you 9 times, I mean, shouldn't they just be done with it? How are you a real Hall of Famer if you've been rejected 8 times? How is that possible? Hit .312 in his career, though, with a .418 on-base percentage, .516 slugging percentage. Only 6 other retired players have reached all 3 of those marks in their careers within the modern era. So I understand it, but I mean, my Lord. That many times, I mean, why even bother? The 2 names that I'm interested in talking about most, though, are Barry Bonds and Roger Clemens. Statistically speaking, with Roger Clemens winning 354 career games with a .312 ERA and 4,672 strikeouts in 24 Major League Baseball seasons, he's 3rd all-time on the strikeout list and 9th all-time in wins. He's a 7-time Cy Young Award winner as well, which is the most in Major League Baseball history. Won the pitching Triple Crown twice. That's wins, ERA, and strikeouts. Let me tell y'all something. Statistically, Roger Clemens deserves to be in, and don't get me started with Barry Bonds. It's the greatest hit I've ever seen. And he was a Hall of Famer before the steroids. He was a walking 30 for 30, 30 in home runs, 30 home runs, 30 steals a year. Walking 30 for 30. There's nothing to talk about here, statistically. Barry Bonds and Roger Clemens are out because of the steroids era. I'm here to tell you why Barry Bonds should be in and Roger Clemens should be out. Barry Bonds should be in A because he was a Hall of Famer without steroids. He wasn't a walking strikeout like Mark McGwire was. A la somebody like Dave Kingman. That wasn't Barry Bonds. Okay? So I don't want to hear all of this stuff. He didn't need steroids to be a Hall of Famer. And they weren't checking for that stuff at the time. As far as I'm concerned, he should be in the Hall of Fame. Roger Clemens, I think that he should not be allowed in Major League Baseball's Hall of Fame for one reason and one reason only. Ladies and gentlemen, stupidity. Roger Clemens might be the dumbest baseball player I've ever encountered in my life. Let me get this straight. You have retired. You are home minding your business, chilling with your wife and kids and all of that other stuff, and literally got bold and dared Congress to summon you up on Capitol Hill so you could lie after being sworn under oath, knowing that there are pictures of your wife on a cover of Sports Illustrated, her looking more jacked than you, meaning muscles. You know that the delivery to the Mitchell report said that steroids were being delivered to your house in your wife's name. You know there's pictures of her. So the wife is getting all jacked, looking all in shape and toned and muscle bound. But she laying next to you every night, and it's all right for you to be slovenly and out of shape. Oh, stop it. Oh, stop it. We all know. The men out there will confirm this. If your woman's in shape, let's just say it's in your best interest for you to be in shape too. Can I leave it like that, Cat? One of my boys, is that fair to say, Cat? I ain't crossed no third rails, did I? I mean, I'm just speaking obvious. if she's in shape and she's looking all buffed and she's got strong stamina and you are a husband that wants to keep your wife interested, I think it's safe to say it would behoove you to make sure you're in some kind of shape yourself. If she can run marathons, you at least got to be able to run down the damn block. Is that all right for me to say, Kat? If she can run marathons, at least you need to be able to run down the block. I mean, I think that's safe to say. I mean, I got to be careful with this. It's Walt Disney, and not only that, you got ESPNW all over the place. I mean, let's just be honest, okay? I got to be PG rated. Y'all understand what the hell I'm saying? I'm going to say it one more time for the fellas out there, because Valentine's Day is coming up. 1-800-FLOWERS, you just heard me read you the promo. If she can run a marathon, you need to be able to run a block. I think that's safe to say. Y'all get the picture? I think that, was I clear enough, Kat? Am I vivid enough for that? Is that the Kat, should they be able to get that message? Is that good enough? I'm going to say it one more time. If she can run a marathon, you need to be able to run a block. This dude, Roger Clemens, the wife is all jacked and buffed, in shape, and all of this other stuff, and supposedly, purportedly, packages of steroids and stuff was coming to the house in her name. So the wife is using it, but you innocent, Roger Clemens. You did nothing. Really? Really? And then go up on Capitol Hill and talk smack. You know, got taking pictures with politicians, getting sworn under oath, swearing up and down you never used anything. Knowing the Mitchell Report and everything else, think you lying through your damn teeth. And nobody was, unlike Mark McGuire, unlike Sammy Sosa, unlike Barry Bonds, nobody was bothering Roger Clemens. He was supposedly retired. Everybody was going to leave him alone, let him go into the sunset and just live his life. That's what everybody was going to do. And this idiot decides he want to get all bold and speak up. Just stupid. I think he's an idiot. And I think that's the reason he should be kept out of the Hall of Fame. Just for sheer stupidity. Period. Your calls in a minute to close out the show with Stephen A. on ESPN Radio.
Guess what? You're in the middle of the Stephen A. Smith Show podcast.
Damn it, I mean it! ESPN Radio is presented by Progressive Insurance. Drivers who switch to Progressive can save an average of $620. Welcome back to the Stephen A. Smith Show right here on ESPN Radio. As Valentine's Day approaches next month, I just wanted to let everybody know the Love Doctor will be back in the house. Make no mistake about that. I'm here for y'all. You know what I'm saying? Get on out of here. I'm the Love Doctor. I got it from Martin Lawrence. One of my favorite all-time comedy, the show Martin. I gotta have Martin Lawrence on this show. I gotta look for where Martin Lawrence is. Have him as a guest on my radio show. Just because I want to give credit where credit is due. The Love Doctor. Now get on out of here. I'm the Love Doctor. I'm trying to tell you. There's an episode when Tommy and Pam hooked up for the first time. Man, it was hilarious. Anybody that watched Martin knows what I'm talking about. I think the only comedy that's ever been greater than that overall, The Honeymooners. Cosby Show I loved. The Jeffersons and Archie Bunker I loved. Sanford and Son wasn't great. It wasn't bad either. But man, oh man. Honeymooners. Nothing gets better than that. Back to the phones we go before we get on out of here for the day. Let's go to Jason in Texas. You're live with Stephen A. What's up?
Hey, Stephen A. Thanks for taking my call.
My pleasure.
With the Cavs talking to, or Tyronn Lue saying he's going to change the lineup up. Is it crazy to think that this team is better with Jose Calderon than either Isaiah Thomas or Derrick Rose?
Yeah, it is crazy. You know why? Because Calderon is not the player that he used to be. He can hit spot-up shots, but he can't create opportunities for himself. He can't do those kind of things. He's essentially a spot-up shooter. He's a tad bit better than Kyle Korver right now.
Well, but, you know, they struggled at the beginning of the year with Rose and then went on that run with Calderon, and now they're struggling again with with Thomas. So I was just curious about your thoughts on that.
It's a legitimate question because, listen, I didn't think about that. Let me give you credit where credit is due. Because even though I don't think much of Calderon outside of making spot-up shots, you are right. They have looked better with him than without him. So it might warrant reconsideration. Thanks a lot for the call. Alex in Connecticut, you're live with Stephen A. Talk to me real quick.
Hey, Stephen A. Do you think it's unfair for us fans to measure NBA greatness based on how many rings a player has compared to what they actually do on the court?
I wouldn't say it's unfair. I think it's on a case-by-case basis compared to depending on the situation. I think in CP's 3 cases, it's a little unfair because his greatness can't be measured by championships. He's a floor general, but he's only 6 feet tall and he doesn't play above the rim and he's not a scoring machine. He's a floor general. And when you think about floor generals, he's elite, but you need pieces to get it done. Whereas LeBron is 6'9", 260. Kobe was a 6'6" guy. Jordan was a 6'6" guy, et cetera, et cetera. And you have the ability to take matters into your own hands in a different way than the smaller guys are able to do. And that's why I think it's got to be on a case-by-case basis.
So do you feel that the fans kind of pressured Durant into going to Golden State?
No, I think that Durant, me personally, I think he took the easy way out because he picked the perfect team for him to play with and to him to play for. Now, that doesn't take away from his greatness. His individual greatness speaks for itself, but it also does not invalidate my claim that his move was the weakest move that I'd ever seen by a superstar because he's a superstar. If he was not a superstar, the move would not have been weak. It would have been smart. But because he's so great and there's a multitude of places he could have gone to win a championship, the fact that he picked that one, I thought was the path of the easiest, of the least amount of resistance. And that's why I hold firm to that. But I got to get on out of here. I'll be back in 22 hours from now, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining me today. I'll talk to you in 24 hours. Until then, it's Stephen A. signing off on ESPN Radio.
That's just a sample of what you'll hear on the Stephen A. Smith Show. Weekdays at 1 p.m. Eastern on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app.